name is Mia White Anderson, and I'm directing Skeleton Crew at the Weathervane Theatre. Skeleton Crew is about 4 people who have come together. They're working at a stamp factory in Detroit, Michigan. And it's at the time of 2016 when there have been a lot of plant closings. So there's sort of a rumor going around that a plant may be closing, and it's how it's going to affect these 4 people who work at this particular plant. I'm really attracted to love stories. And so even though when I tell you what this is about, you may think, how is this a love story? But it really is about these 4 people and how what happens on the outside is impacting the internal relationships. And that's what I'm really attracted to. And I'm also attracted to because Skeleton Crew is about the working crew person. It's about people who work at the factories, and these are usually the people who don't get the storylines, they don't get the shine, so to speak. And I really appreciate that this play is really, honoring the people who put together the cars, who construct the homes, who do the work that no one ever really sees but completely benefits from. Robert Fowler is playing Reggie, and so he's a veteran of the Weathervane. I first met him here, and he's a lovely person. And Reggie is sort of the character he plays is in this interesting position because he's in a position of authority, but he has a personal, not romantic, but familial relationship with Faye, who's played by Shimmery, who is the first lady of the North Country. So this is the first time I'm meeting her. She's a lovely person, and Faye is really the heart, I would say, of this piece. She has been working at this plant the longest. She is a union rep, and she's put in a very difficult position because of Reggie, and she was the person who gave Reggie his opportunity. So it's an interesting dynamic of like what comes first. Is it your relationships with each other or the work? And so many people may say, oh, that's easy to answer. It is really not very easy to answer when you have financial obligations. And so there's Jewel, who is also a fellow Brooklynite like me, who is playing Shanita. She's pregnant, she's working at the factory, she loves the job that she does, and so the threat of what could happen not only affects the work that she does, but also puts her sort of in a precarious position because she is about to give birth to another life. And so the concerns about that, to stay there or to look for another job, but this is the people she's really been connected to and the work that she's really proud of. And then we have Devin, who is playing Dez. I love Dez's character because he's a very complicated character. I think in a very traditional sort of piece, he would have just been seen as the rebellious kind of guy. But he's much more complicated because in many ways he's the truth teller. He cuts right to the truth, and I believe he represents the frustrations of the working person, of like, what do you do? How do you make this work? How do you protect yourself? Do the work, but then don't allow the business to eat you up. Because sometimes loyalty to a company, we will have loyalty to the company, but the company doesn't have loyalty to us. I really hope that audiences are able to see what I feel like Dominique Morisseau is doing in this piece. Because Dominique Morisseau is from Detroit, and all her plays, like August Wilson takes place in Pittsburgh, hers all take place in Detroit. And the one thing that I feel like in her work is that she honors the people that we don't see. And I feel particularly in New Hampshire, where there are so many working class people, many of the people here work and do jobs that create things that build a better world. These things that are so necessary. And I hope that when people see Skeleton Crew, that they see, of course, the wonderful performances, but that it speaks to something in them. Come see Skeleton Crew at the Weathervane Theatre, July 3rd through July 18th.